what are the like the real things that change the dial for you or your clients? Or what do you find?
I mean, the main reason that people are not doing what they should be doing, the reason it's all swinging is because people buy into their own bullshit. It's going to be the simplest answer to that, is that we've become a society where we will find a justification for doing the things we know we should feel guilty about. We're aware of it. And there's always, there's evidence to suggest whatever you want to suggest, right? They will be able to find somebody who says, this is bad for you. That's great for you. Now, a classic one with loads of clients is resveratrol is a supplement that's very, very good for the heart, and it's high, quote unquote, high quantities in red wine. So clients will smash back loads of red wine and say, yeah, but the doctor says it's got resveratrol in it, so I should have 2 glasses a week. 2 glasses a night. I'm like, right, so you've got 700 calories worth of red wine a night, or just a supplement of resveratrol, which is going to have 20 times the amount. We find ways of saying, I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to find a reason why I should, and then I'm going to justify it to myself. And the same occurs with whether it's athletes, whether it's trainers. The more knowledge you get, the more reasons you have to do the things you shouldn't do. Me, for example, I'll find ways, oh, fuck, I need a refeed. I need a refeed today. I've been dieting hard for a week. I need a refeed. I don't need a refeed at all, but I'll find a way to justify the science to myself. It's human nature, right? We will find ways to do what we want all of the time. And it's not necessarily always the best for us.
I think you said about self-justification. I think that's a very, you can just now, I believe, with having that internet and having the access to the information, like you said, even if you don't know how to justify the thing, you can Google how to justify the thing and work out, and clever people work that out, right? As in, if you have a bit of intelligence to you, you can justify things and you can have arguments in your own brain and you can work it out. So I think avoiding that is going to be very, very difficult. You mentioned resveratrol. My wife tries to make me take that, and she puts it in a thing for me to take. What does it do?
So resveratrol is very, very good for your heart, circulatory system, and inflammation. And the majority of us are extremely systemically inflamed. All of us could do with, if we look at mortality factors, most people, if they die of natural causes, are probably going to die of heart disease in some form or cancer, right? A lot of those are going to be helped significantly by reducing inflammation, helping the cardiac system, et cetera, et cetera. So it's one of those givens that, providing you're not doing 2 glasses of red wine a night, that taking supplements like that can be really, really beneficial. And over time as well, we're getting so much more information on what supplements work, what supplements don't work. We're catching up with a lot of stuff that maybe we were wrong about in 10 years' time. And now we say, right, resveratrol is the best for this, or glutamine is the best for that, or blah, 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 blah. It's not to say it's right, but everything we know at the moment suggests that it's going to be a good thing to add to your supplements regime or this.
Well, that's because obviously from fighting, my whole body, I was walking down the stairs carrying a couple of bags with my mate. My mate's like 50. I mean, he's 48, so I feel like bad saying he's 50, but he's almost 50. And I was carrying these bags.
As long as you don't mention his name, you're right.
Yeah, but he knows who he is, and he's probably going to watch it. And I'm carrying these bags down the stairs, and my shoulder was hurting, my knee was hurting, my hands. It's always my hands. And this older dude was like, and I said, how am I the broken one? And it's because I damaged my body for years on years on years. And I find that interest like resveratrol or whatever, but the inflammation in my hands, especially if I'm drinking fizzy drinks and carbonated drinks and have a bad diet, I literally cannot close my hands because they're so inflamed. So if I want to have a bad diet, to do a couple vodka Red Bulls, get on the lash. If I take resveratrol, then it'll
sadly not. If only that was the way it works, right? There are definitely supplements you can take to help that kind of shit. And I think, especially with your past, there is nothing more brutal than what you've done. There is nothing more punishing to the body than the sport that you dedicated your life to. There's always going to be a consequence to that, right? Always, always, always. And when you're young, you don't feel it that well. I'm sure you did feel getting punched in the face, but you feel it a lot less. Right? I remember going into the gym when I was 23, 24. I'd do something stupid. I'd be like, oh, fuck. Wake up the next day, I'm like, ah, sweet, I'll train it again. Whereas now, I'll leave the gym, think, I've had a sick workout, wake up the next day, oh, fuck, something's gone wrong, right? Age does that to us. But there are steps you can take, things like resveratrol. Curcumin is amazing for pain relief and inflammation. And high doses of omega-3 fish oil, amazing. These are the kind of things that, certainly curcumin and omega-3, everybody should be taking every day, especially someone who's taken the kicking that you have in the past. But ultimately, there are 2 stages to curing anything. Number 1 is to stop doing what's hurting you, and number 2 is then to remedy the damage that's already been done. This is drinking's a big one. We're all guilty of it, right? a lot of the lifestyles that many of us lead, it's partying, right? Especially as guys, we go around, we travel, whether it's Dubai, whether it's here, whether it's Ibiza. Alcohol really fucks up the system, but it's fun. If you really want to start to fix a bunch of stuff, dropping alcohol for 6 months could do unbelievably positive things for your body. But most of us don't want to do that. So we'll look at a supplement and we'll say, do you know what? I'm going to keep drinking at the weekends, but I'll just take more of this supplement. And surely that'll do something. It's not, it's pissing in the wind. You know, even the absolute best supplements in the world may give you a 5% edge. That's it. If you continue to do the shit that supplement's trying to fix, you've negated the 5% edge anyway. It just becomes an expensive thing you spend money on every single month.
Yeah, because that's you talking about justification. We were talking about it earlier, and that's what me seeing as a professional athlete for a long time. People would come to me for advice about training. I'm not like qualified in anything, but I would just have lived it. So a lot of people would come to me, how to do this, how to lose weight. I would cut weight and lose these huge amounts of water and all this sort of stuff. So they would come for me for my advice, and I'd be like, I'm searching for that thing that gets me 1% better, because I've done all the work to get here. So I've done the bulk of the hard stuff, and I'm just getting the little, there was a thing going around about cherry juice, I think it was, like ages ago, that helped your oxygen levels or something like that. All these little tiny things. Cold plunge is one that you see, and saunas and all this sort of stuff. That's all great, but you can't justify your bad lifestyle and the fact that you're lazy. But I've got to do cold plunge though. So I'm, it's like
exactly.
Those things that are meant to give you a 1% edge, you have to do the bulk load of the stuff, right? So I find that's how we self-justify. So that's something that I would do with Restrevatol, what you said. But I can't.
Sweet, I can have 12 pints instead of 3 now. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't work like that.
But there's also the difference. You've mentioned the 1%. At elite athlete level, 1% makes a difference. It absolutely does. You look at a sprinter, for example. 1% is the difference between first and fourth. It makes a difference. For Dave, who works on security at some club in Rotherham, it doesn't make a difference.
Sorry, Dave, mate. Sorry.
Yes, apologies, anyone called Dave, right? It doesn't make a difference, but people get into their brain that it does, because they see this bodybuilder, this professional athlete, this so-and-so, it makes a difference, so it's the cure for me. They don't live like you do. If you look at your regime when you were fighting, it's extreme. We're talking about your water loading and water dropping. It's one of the most unhealthy things you can do for your body, and you fucking feel it. You wouldn't wish it upon anyone.